Some people stay silent, not because they are strong, but because they are so tired that they no longer have the strength to explain whether they are okay or not. And this story is about someone like that. In ancient times, on the edge of a weathered stone kingdom, there lived a man named Elias. Elias was a blacksmith, and every day before the sun rose, he stood before a blazing forge, striking steel with quiet determination. In the town, everyone believed Elias was strong. He never complained, never protested, and never spoke of being tired. When others grumbled about the harshness of life, Elias simply listened in silence. When asked, "Are you all right?" he always answered, "I am fine." But no one knew that every night after the forge went cold, Elias sat alone for a long time in the darkness, not to rest, but because he did not want to face the emptiness inside his heart. Elias once had a dream to forge a sword worthy of the king's attention. He believed that if he endured long enough, his fate would eventually change. But year after year, the sword remained just a sword. No royal messenger came, no recognition followed, and no one noticed the sweat falling onto the cold stone floor. And so Elias learned to be silent. Silent because he believed men should not appear weak. Silent because he feared that if he spoke, everything he held inside would collapse. To others, Elias was a symbol of endurance. But deep within, he was exhausted beyond words, unable to explain his own emotions. One night, when the hammer slipped from his hand, Elias did not bend down to pick it up. He sat on the cold stone floor, his back against the wall. For the first time in many years, he asked himself, "How long have I been silent?" Not silent to grow stronger, but silent to survive. In that moment, Elias understood something no one had ever taught him. Silence is not always strength. Sometimes it is a sign that a person has been carrying too much alone. The next morning, Elias did not light the forge. He walked beyond the town, up the hill behind it, where he could watch the sun rise. Not to complain, not to beg, but simply to admit that he was tired. And sometimes allowing yourself to admit that exhaustion is the bravest act of all.